If you saw my previous video on FundedNext, you'll see that I passed phase 1. Now I'm on phase 2 and it's not going exactly to plan. So first, I'm going to show you an overview of this account. So as you can see, this is my account. This is the 100,000 Stellar 2-step challenge that you saw in the previous video. And the balance is 92,972.64. So you can see that we're at a minus 7.03% loss. We've traded 17 days. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go and have a look at the trades to see how we arrived at this position. So go into trading overview. Okay, the reason why my equity is a bit higher than my balance right now is I'm currently in a trade. It's the 2nd of June as of recording. So I'm currently in a trade. So that's why my equity is a bit higher than my balance. Average winning trade 385. Average losing trade minus 728. 18 trades taken. 1 to 0.53 average risk to reward. Profit factor 0.22. Best trade 1,925. Worst trade minus 2,170. And the first trade that I took was just to start the account. So it was just like a small 0.01 lot trade. I always like to start my account by just putting a 0.01 lot just to have it activated. Then we took 4 losses. So we took a loss here, 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 and here. But what it's not showing is that I took 4 losses, but I was also missing winners. And this is what happens when you miss your winners in between, is you actually then end up having 4 losers in a row, which you shouldn't have had. At this stage, I'm at minus 4%. Okay. And obviously when I was starting this phase 2, I was already imagining myself as a funded trader making profits from the market. And obviously that didn't go to plan. And now I'm at a minus 4% drawdown. So what I decided to do was I took a day to analyze what's going on. Is this normal? Why am I in a minus 4% drawdown? Is this part of the plan or is something wrong? And that's when I realized that the strategy that I was using, that I took these 4 trades, okay, and that I took on my phase 1, it was not a sustainable strategy. And the reason being is that I was waking up too early, I had a lack of sleep, and it started catching up to me. So what I realized was that I was taking all the losing trades, but I was missing all the winners. My decision making was really terrible. So this is when I realized that I needed to go back to the drawing board. And before I tell you what I did to go back to the drawing board, I want you to realize that I just gave a nugget here. Health is important. Sleep is important. And if you're not exercising and if you don't have a good mental state or you're not sleeping enough, it's going to impact your decision making in the markets. And this is what has happened. I took 4 losses in a row that I shouldn't have taken. By looking at my journal, I realized this. I realized that I was waking up too early. So now I go back to the drawing board. So let me explain what is going on in my current situation. So if you're aware, I had a swing trading strategy that I use on my FundedNext. Now that swing trading strategy was a profitable strategy. However, the one problem that I always had was the frequency. I didn't have enough trades every month to be able to help me to pass prop firm challenges. It would take forever. And now I've got this day trading strategy that I've developed that gives me the frequency. But now the problem is the time in which I've got to wake up and the way in which you've got to trade it. It's not very sustainable in the long term. So I decided to take up some mentorship. Why? Well, I needed frequency and I needed a strategy that was sustainable. So beginning of February, I started taking up mentorship with one of the really big YouTubers, Mac Gray, RM Trading Mentorship. And that's when things started to really help me and I really started to understand certain things. I started learning about liquidity, which is something I didn't really know before. Here you'll notice that there's a big gap. I took a trade on the 4th of February and then you can see that, okay, this one was just to keep the account from being inactive. And then the next trade I took was on the 5th of March, 11th of March. So this was when I started incorporating this new strategy. But at that stage, it's just me experimenting and just taking a few trades to get a feel, trying out different time frames. So you see that now I've started changing the pairs that I'm using. I started using GBP CHF, so this was a swing trade. GBP JPY, another swing trade, right? So we're still losing, right? So now I think we're now getting to like nearly -6%. So this is just me meddling around, and you can see this is me trying to keep the account active. So you can see that for a lot of May as well, I was just trying to keep the account active. April was just tiny losses. And the reason was I was just trying out different things, different time frames, and then I decided to just reduce the risk of it. A bit earlier than the 27th of May, probably 2 weeks before, somewhere there, I had my strategies pin-pat down. I had my swing trading strategy, the old one combined with the new one, which works really well, and the new day trading strategy. And for a while, there was no trades. Then, 27th of May, there was a GBP JPY day trade. And what I decided to do, which was really toxic, was I decided to risk more. Because at this stage, I was at -6%. And I was just thinking, hey, if I risk more, maybe I can quickly come out of this drawdown and we can pass phase 2. Now that was me being toxic, because what I did wrong, which is what prop firms want us to do, is to go high risk when you're in drawdown, because then you're definitely going to fail that account. So I took that loss, valid loss. However, I should not have taken such a huge loss. And then I had one more bullet in the tank. I was about -9% left. One more bullet in the tank. And that's when I had a Bitcoin USD short. I risked 1% and I made 1,899. Now this trade was a beautiful trade using liquidity principles. However, this trade should have actually been a 2,400 profit. That's where I had put my take profit on TradingView, and that's where I wanted the market to go. But when I was putting the take profit, I put the wrong take profit. I think I was looking at something else. I wasn't paying attention, and yeah, and that's why we're here with this 1,899. And then this position here, the CAD JPY, currently running position. It's a swing trade, currently up $590. So now you might be asking, what is the plan going forward? Plan going forward is I'm going to try and claw this account back. So I'm going to be risking 1% and I'm going to be keeping it consistent at 1%. No more trying to over risk to try and like quickly get through it. And I'm going to be using a hybrid approach. I'm going to be putting both my swing trades and my day trades into this account. And why, you might ask, is because I have an idea that I want to try out. I'm going to have one prop firm account that I take only my swing trades. I'm going to have another prop firm account where I only take my day trades. And then I'm going to have a hybrid account, which is the one where I'll take both my swing trades and my day trades. So the FundedNext account is the one that I'm going to be taking both the swing trades and the day trades. So guys, let me know in the comments. Do you think I'm going to pass this account, or do you think I'm going to fail this account? Let me know in the comments, and let's see who I prove right and let's see who I prove wrong. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.